Welcome back to the Rob the Savage podcast. I got my brother,
Yes, sir.
Otis Carter.
What's going on, Sam?
Man, hey, I needed this interview, man, because I know we're gonna be wide open about whatever.
Let's go.
So we're gonna dive into it, bro. Hey, tell everybody who is Otis Carter. The third, right?
The fourth.
The fourth, my bad.
Yeah.
The fourth. My bad, Pops.
Look, Otis Carter, a man that care about his community, entertainment guru, strong man, father, husband, brother, all them titles, bro. I do all of that at a high level. So that's why I'm on.
Okay, man. So, Otis, man, where you from, man? I know, I know, but the people need to know, what's the two cities, man, that got your heart, man?
Man, I was born in a town called Moss Point, Mississippi, and shortly thereafter moved to Nashville.
Okay.
And in the inner city, Nashville living, John Henry Hill, Joe Johnson, North Nashville, and just looking for a better life. My dad took me back down to Mississippi when I was like in the 5th grade.
Okay.
So that middle school, that late elementary, middle school through college was Mississippi, and I moved back at 24. So I'm really a tale of two cities for real.
Okay.
And I call both of these places home.
Okay. What was that journey like, man? Two different cities, mom from one side, dad from the other. One is country than the other.
Man, it was crazy because I was self-aware as a kid. So I'm like coming from the bricks, and I moved to Mississippi, and it's not the same. Like you got the hood elements, you got the other elements, but it's so close.
Okay.
You might have a house that's poverty-stricken, they right beside somebody that's working at our shipyard making, at the time, maybe in the 80s, 90s. In the 90s, it might be making $60,000, $70,000 a year, which is some good money back then. And they right beside a house that somebody's dirt poor.
I got you.
Versus up here, everybody living in the projects is poor. The whole community is poor. So it was just a little difference, man. I kind of appreciated it moving back down there to the slower life, to where I had my grandmama, had yards to play in. I didn't have to worry about every time I go outside whether some violence or something crazy was going on in the neighborhood. I wasn't constant drug dealing and, you know what I mean, certain things that I was just exposed to at a daily basis. In Nashville, it wasn't like that in Mississippi.
I got you.
Until I became a teenager.
Okay.
Then you start getting a little bit more wide open, and you start exploring on your own. Then, you go be exposed to whatever neighborhood. You go find out what's going on in your neighborhood at that point. But it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more hidden. It's not as open. Like up here, it's just out. We out. We open, man. We in North Nashville, right down the street. We had Preston Taylor, very familiar back in the day with Sutter Court, Dye City. It was just certain neighborhoods in Nashville, it was treacherous and notorious for crime and drugs and certain things down there. It wasn't just one part of town. It was sprinkled in everywhere.
Okay.
So it was, I appreciate it. Both of them gave you valuable lessons.
Well, how did your Mississippi kinfolk or friends take it? Did they view you like, okay, that's Otis, man? He from the city and he from us. Did they kind of feel like you was the cool one because you come from a big city, but you got family down there? Or?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. You had to prove yourself because they don't give a damn. Like Moss Point, it's a prideful city, bro.
I got you.
Moss Point don't give a damn where you from.
Yeah.
You gotta Moss Point feel like we New York. We feel like we Nashville. We feel like we Atlanta. Yeah. We had the same pride and the same enthusiasm about our city. So people weren't just, oh man, you from Nashville. Even more so, you from out of town. You got to prove yourself. It wasn't like, oh, you from out of town. You from somewhere cool. You automatically accepted.
Right.
So I had to go through my trials and tribulations. Had to thump a couple times. I got down there. All that kind of stuff. It was what it was.
Right. And that's Mississippi, man. So I know it's just the mindset different. We kind of, they still consider us city folks. So they yeah. But you in the Gulfport, it's beautiful down there when you get towards the shore.
Yeah, it is.
How was that upbringing being down there, man? Like, okay, I'm down here. I got two cities I can pick from, but I'm really vibing with this one. how was that transition as you become a teenager and eventually college? Like, okay, I'm gonna stay down here a little bit longer than I
am. Man, it was that sense of community.
Okay.
Like when you, like I said, Mouse Point very prideful. So when you get down there, you start bleeding, blue and white. Okay. You start bleeding the school colors. Everybody got yard signs. When I got down there, our high school football team was the truth. They was winning state championships. We had some stud athletes. We had a really strong heritage. So it instilled some pride in me, man. I was cool being, man. Like I still tell people, I'm a Mississippi boy. Even though I lived here and more, like right now, 40 years old, I've spent more time in Nashville than Mississippi. But I'm a Mississippi boy. Because all my values and my life lessons at that crucial point in my time, that 11 through 24, I was down there. So, okay. With my cerebral cortex and they said all that shit developing, that's where I was at.
Okay. I mean,
all my life lessons and stuff like that, bumping my heads and growing up, I did that down there. I used to come up here and visit now. So I was in tune with the city, had cousins that was swinging and banging, so I come up here every summer and get it in with them. But I'm Mississippi boy. I was going down there proper. And you see how country I am now.
Yeah.
I wasn't like that when I was 10, 11, moving down there. I was coming down there. I went to Aiken Elementary when I lived up here, living in the Jakes. Going to Aiken Elementary, so I was the proper kid.
Right.
And them boys corrupted me, Sam. I'm country.
Hey, now it happens that way, man. I can contest to that a little bit. Going to nothing but all black schools, period, here in the city of Nashville. That me being so yellow. It was expecting you to talk a certain way, and I'm talking slang every day.
Yeah, you slang,
all the way still to this day. I can't, But so you out there, you back and forth. You in high school, man. What was your passion at the time, man? Like, what was you trying to do?
Man, I thought I was gonna be a basketball player and a band member and a musician at the time. And like I said, we had a real competitive sports atmosphere down there, so I had to choose. Like, hey, what you gonna do? Band, football. We didn't have the school where you got the guy with the football pads carrying the tuba at halftime. You finna be play football, basketball, or be in the band for the most part.
It was all separate.
You had to separate what you do. So at 9th grade, me being a freshman going into my sophomore year, I played freshman basketball in the band, but I made a decision. I'm like, bro, I'm 5'10", 5'11" at the time. I ain't going to no league. It's going to be hard getting the sky. Like I said, I was self-aware.
Right.
So I was like, man, I'm going to be the best band guy I can be. So I was in the band, man. I was a stud, too.
Because I'm thinking, correct if I'm wrong, did you know Penny back then? TSU Penny?
TSU Penny, yeah. Like I said, I was back and forth. So I came up here for a summer camp, like my 11th grade year. I think he was a freshman. I was a junior. And we was at an engineering camp at TSU.
Okay.
So that's when I met Penny then as a youngster, man. And we ended up hitting it off real well with that boy Starlito, too.
Okay. All of that same camp.
He was the main at the time. Yeah, we was all at the same camp, engineering camp, just politicking. And that led us to our future relationships now.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's crazy how always sports in some kind of way bring people together. A lifetime, man. I got a lot of lifelong friends from sports. I ain't seen them in years, but I can see them tomorrow. It's just like I've been knowing them.
It's like you've been knowing them. The same thing with that band and music, like the relationships I got, because I ended up taking taking my high school band career to college.
Right.
And I marched with Alcorn State University. Some of those relationships I built in college band and high school band, I still got them to this day.
Man, I'm glad you brought up that. So what made you choose Alcorn over Tennessee State? Or if they even
that was my top. I wanted to be in the SWAC, but my daddy went to TSU. He was an aristocrat.
Okay.
So that was always, I applied to both. So, I wanted to go to either one. Everybody was going to take me. Alcorn and Tennessee State were my top choices. My grandma went to Alcorn. My dad went to TSU. My grandma also got a graduate degree from TSU, and I got a lot of family too. But my grandma in the Basketball Hall of Fame at Alcorn.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I'm going to one of these two schools. TSU didn't have no out-of-state tuition for me, even though I had a band scholarship. So Alcorn it was.
That's the one it was.
So I still got the opportunity to go where I wanted to go. It wasn't nothing but really two choices.
Okay, and you basically going in maybe a couple of years removed, maybe 6 years removed from Air McNair
Oh yeah, right? His era was his presence was still felt on campus.
Okay.
By the time I was there, he was in the NFL, but he was still active. So he was still coming to games. Even though the football team wasn't really that good, my first couple years there, he was still participating. He still come and show up. Oh yeah, Gaddy had a presence on campus. He was in Nashville at the time.
Yeah.
But Gaddy, all those guys, Donald Driver was a couple years after McNair. All them boys used to come back on campus, man, and show love.
Yeah, Alcorn had some dogs.
Yeah, they had some dogs.
They had some dogs, man. So you in the band at Alcorn. How's that life going for me? You in the band, you doing your thing. Being in Mississippi and being in the band, was the outside influences still being able to reach you in those situations, or I was just focused on school, I ain't worried about nothing?
Oh man, the outside influences on the college campus, they'll always be there, because you got to think you got people coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So some of the people even in the band, I was still him. You know what I mean? I'm still on campus. I'm still I think I'm the coolest guy in the world, just like every other 18 to 21-year-old that's on college campus too.
Yeah.
And you know, we were doing what every young man was doing. So the outside influences definitely got with us on campus, man. We thought we was the shit.
Yeah.
We did everything wrong under the sun on campus.
I feel it.
So we was an hour from Jackson, Mississippi.
And that close?
We're an hour.
Okay.
We're an hour from Jackson, so we had all those Jackson influences. We were 2 hours from Baton Rouge, so we stayed in Baton Rouge, stayed in Jackson.
Yeah.
You were about 2.5 hours from Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Yeah.
You 4 hours from home. So
he from Nav and Clarksdale.
Yeah. So we had all the influences, all the bad influences. You know, if you from Clarksdale, you know anything about Clarksdale, you know they don't play. And they got they right down the street from Memphis. So we had a lot of influence, man. People from Chicago, Detroit. I got homeboys from all those places.
Right.
Houston, California, Atlanta. You got us from the coast, people from Jackson, and just everybody built that whole melting pot right there on the college campus. And the thing about Alcorn, it's really its own world. So it's not like, you know, at Jackson State or maybe TSU, you can come to TSU and never really live on campus. If you come from Atlanta, your folks got a little money or something that, you might not ever live on campus. They'll get you a little apartment right off there in Bellevue with a little car, and you just commute.
You just commute.
It ain't like that at Alcorn. You at Alcorn.
Right, you got it. And I like that, though.
So you in college, you on campus, everything's walkable. It's a small community.
That's one thing I know the old TSU used to have that. Like, people when just living in Bellevue, you know, black folks start making money, you know, I don't have my kids somewhere. It kind of takes away from the whole school life / love.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But that's why, I mean, it's funny you said Clarksdale, man, because I overheard the game one time talking about in his trapping years. He used to be in Clarksdale. He in L.A. And then, you know, what's his name being Snoop, his family's from Mississippi.
Yeah, he from Macomb.
Yeah,
his family from Macomb. I know some people that's kin to Snoop.
Okay.
And Rick Ross is from Clarksdale.
Yep.
His family from Clarksdale. Like, he's still active there. When you went to his car show and stuff, some of his closest members that was at the car show, some of them was his cousins from Clarksdale.
Yeah.
I know people that know his people. He's very active down there, too. He got ring stops and stuff. He got businesses in there, too.
Because he talked about his love for Memphis and Mississippi.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get that.
That's why. That's exactly why.
Okay. So, you're in the band, you're doing your thing. What's some trials and tribulations, man, that hit you as you're about to get out of school / just your life period, man? Like, you focus on what I'm going to do next after I get done with band or college. What's some trial and tribulations you went through that had made you some setbacks?
Man, I didn't graduate, right?
Okay.
So, the whole time I'm in school, take a semester, I'm doing my thing. I bullshit a semester. Handle my business semester, bullshit a semester. Next thing you know, you look up, you in school 3 years, and you still a sophomore.
Okay.
So, I came to face that decision, like, man, am I going to keep on be the old dude on campus, steady trying to get by, racking up student loans, or am I going to go home and figure it out? So that was one of my things. I went home to figure it out. You know, and I'm kind of glad I did, because the life path I'm on now, a degree wouldn't have helped me.
Man,
I just would have been more in debt. You know, for some people, a lot of people, that's what it is for. You know, but for me, that was just the thing to do. My dad was a teacher. My grandma was a principal, a teacher and a principal. my aunt, you know what I mean, on my dad's side, I go down there, everybody's college educated, everybody's in the education realm.
Right.
So even though I was cutting hair, you know, I'm a barber like in high school. My granddad had a barber shop, like certified running water, certificate of inspection, everything in our backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm cutting hair at 14. Everybody, I tell you that part, I was cutting. I moved to Mississippi. By the time I'm 14, I'm cutting everybody hair. If I ain't cut your hair, you was probably you wasn't cool.
Right.
You kind of, you feel me? Like if I touch it once or twice. Yeah. In my high school career, I touched everybody that was somebody.
Swiss Army knife.
I mean, come on. So, instead of me looking at all of those, like looking at what I'm doing at that point, and you know what, let me go to barber school, or let me explore the entrepreneur route. I went with the majority of my family was doing and went to college, even though I didn't have a major my first year. I didn't take that science.
Shit, none of us really do.
By the time I said I want to do health science, I want to be a physical therapist, but math ain't my thing. You know, I like biology and science, but math, like, so I was just all over the place, bro, with no direction. So that's one of my things. That led me to the 200-man stand. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, to where we can help give kids direction so they won't wasting their time trying to figure it out. So that's what it was, bro. I was trying to figure it out, and I ended up leaving because of the outside influence. The whole time I'm handling my one semester good, one semester bad, because I'm doing all the bullshit while I'm in college.
Which we all
barely going to school, barely going to class. I'm traveling. I got home. Like I said, I got homeboys everywhere, so I done visited everywhere my homeboys.
Yeah.
Took all kind of trips and vacations. I ain't missing no games out of town. I ain't doing none of that. So it led me to, you know, falling short of that degree.
Well, was any like kind of? Oh, you good? I'm sorry, Cannon.
Did you receive any backlash like from your family when you decided to make that decision?
Nah. My family understand it, man. Yeah. They ain't like that. They not like, even though they had the expectations for me, when I fell short of those expectations, they would have my back to figure out whatever my next step was. They ain't judgmental. My people, my dad, my grandma at the time, they weren't judgmental people. My support system was strong.
Yeah.
You know.
What did that look like as far as the support when you went through that?
Come home, got a place to stay.
Yeah.
You know, one of those things. Let's help you get a job. Let's figure it out. So it was just more so speaking life into me, making sure I wasn't, even though I wasn't depressed or anything at the time, but they were making sure I wasn't. And they just had my back in general. You know, they knew I had special capabilities at the time. So just trying to nurture my spirit more so than anything.
I think that's deep, because I have not heard that before.
No,
that's what I'm saying, especially coming from a black family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no,
that's amazing.
Yeah, well, my dad he was very transparent on his college journey. He let me know, son, I went to school in '71. I ain't graduated to '79. You know what I'm saying? Because he came to Nashville. He lived, and his daddy up here. My mama lived here at the time. Otis Carter Jr., the second, my dad's dad, was an entrepreneur in Nashville. Yeah. So when he come up with my dad and running nightclubs with my granddaddy, own liquor stores, and you know what I mean, just doing this thing up here, being a young man, helping his dad work, figuring it out like I was doing, except I didn't have a city to figure it out, and everything was on campus.
I got you.
So I was aware of his journey, so he couldn't, even though he wanted me to finish, he wasn't judgmental or held anything against me, anything. He just got my back.
Yeah.
Helped steer me in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Did you have any kind of like life and death situations during this journey?
Man,
I ain't gonna
say like life and death medical or anything like that, but I had some run-ins, you know, just running the streets and stuff like that. You know, certain things come with that territory.
I got you.
So I've had instances like that to where, you know, guns being involved in situations and things like that. But as far as no health scare, I never been shot, never been cancer survivor, anything like that. So outside of some miscommunications or some run-ins in my younger days, I ain't had no scare on my life or anything like that.
I got you. That's real, man. You know, I've been knowing you for a good little minute now, man. Yeah. And you know, I ain't really do no research, but I seen a picture, man, that kind of threw me off. Oh, man.
What's that?
You was a heavy man at one time, bro.
Oh, man, look, that come from when I first moved up here. My wife got it. She was my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
Moved up here to Nashville. So at my point of figuring it out, I was like, you know what? On my birthday, I came to visit and never went back. Mm-hmm. So just living that happy life. Laid up every day. We cooking, she cooking, eating fast food. So I got damn, boy, I probably gained about 40 pounds over the course of about 2 years. My first couple years up here. Yeah. And that led me to my health journey, you know, to me eating different and changing my lifestyle and things like that. Because I'm like, man, I ain't no workout warrior.
Right.
But I want to get back to where I was. I never was no body of a Greek god and nothing like that. But I was pretty decent athlete, pretty decent shape my whole life. So that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get back to me.
So that led you kind of towards being a pescatarian?
Pescatarian, yeah.
Okay.
I started being a little bit more health conscious before I made that decision. So I lost some weight and got back to myself before I changed all the way to pescatarian. Mm-hmm. But the awareness and education about what I was eating started around that time too.
That's real.
And I just furthered it after that.
That's real. Okay, yeah. You know, they always say health is wealth.
Oh, health is wealth, man. You got to. I was like Luther, man.
Man,
you got little, then you get big and get back little again, man.
I said, man,
and I wanted to be a big dude. You got to think, saying this the early 2000s, being 2000, man, being a big dude, you know.
That was a little clout then.
Hey, Rick Ross and all them boys were coming out. You know, you want to be, I want to have a little weight on me.
Yeah.
And I was lifting some weights too, so I thought I was strong and everything with it too. So I was, you know, ignorant, crazy as hell, man.
Hey, but you know, live and learn.
Live and learn.
What are some of those things that you learned on your health journey?
Beef digestion, like that beef take a long time to digest. It's a lot of fat and cholesterol even in people eating chicken. You know, my partner, I got to shout out. I never shouted him out on camera. My boy DeJuan Parham.
Okay.
DeJuan Parham was the first brother that's like grew up how we grow up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Majority black neighborhood, black daddy, black mama, everything. And in the early 2000s, he was a vegetarian.
Okay.
So I met him. I've been knowing Parham for at least 10 years or more. You know what I'm saying? And since I've known him, he's been a vegetarian.
Okay.
So he was in my life probably about 3-4 years before I took the journey from just being self-aware of what I was eating to, you know what, let me start eating beef and pork. So my first journey was I stopped eating beef and pork for about 5 years, 6 years. Then I removed the poultry, chicken and turkey and all that stuff. So for about 10 years, I ain't ate no beef or pork. You know what I'm saying? And about the last 6 years, I ain't had no bird. Okay. So I do vegan about 3 days a week. Eat fish about
I yearn to get on that level. You know, we had our talks.
Yeah.
I cut the red meat and pork out in 2020 with that chicken and goddamn fish.
But to her question though, that chicken has a lot of cholesterol in it too. So we be food. We'll cut the beef and the pork out and just load up on chicken and wonder why ain't nothing changed and why blood pressure still high, why I still got that weight on me and stuff like that. And really that bird got the same thing, except that beef just is digestive. That's the only difference in that beef is hard to digest, especially a black man.
Sit in your gut for a whole week.
Sit in your gut for a month.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Steak, all that.
Yeah. And you have to watch that dairy intake too.
That's true. I
started watching how much dairy I was consuming.
I had to come back on that cheese.
Cheese, everything, man. It's hard, but because we've grown up in that.
Right,
that's what we've been doing since we've been birthed. So just being more aware. That's the biggest thing. Just being conscious before you put something in your body. I still like sweets. I don't like a lot of candy, but Sam, we would go somewhere and they got some cookies or some cakes or something.
Eating that.
That's a problem.
Chest
you know what I'm saying? That's a problem for me, but I still pick and choose my poison. Yeah. I'm like, everybody got a vice. I don't want mine to be high cholesterol and stuff like that. So I stay getting checked up to make sure I'm on the right path. That's another thing too. If you don't know, a lot of us are scared to go to the doctor. So we don't know what we up against and know the changes we need to make.
What do you think that is? Why do you think,
historically?
Because we don't go to doctors that look like us.
Yeah.
So right now I got to shout out my doctor, Corey Basson. I got a black doctor, Celine Health. He got his own private practice in Hendersonville. Hendersonville.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta, we go to places, we go to people that don't look like us. We're not that comfortable. We probably should be, but society tell us that we can't trust everybody. That's true. Know what I'm saying? I've seen the statistics on black women with doctors and thinking they pain tolerance is higher or not taking their grievances with the same seriousness or giving them the same precautions they would other people of other ethnicities. But so when we're aware of all of that, we've seen people get misdiagnosed and everything like that. It leads us with a distrust of the medical system. Yeah. So until we start going to our own doctors that look like us, that can rebuild that trust that our community has been lacking over hundreds of years when they were sending us to veterinarians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we were sending us to veterinarians at one point in time.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you want us to trust doctors. That don't go, you know what I mean? It don't happen like that. So we in that process of building trust, but you have to infiltrate it. We have to send our people to medical school. Yeah. We got to send our brightest minds to be in those positions to where we can gain trust. So we can say, hey, I know you're scared, black man, but we can go to Corey Basson that's at Lynn Health. He'll take care of you. Yeah. He know you. He's one of us. Right. So things of that nature.
And to piggyback off her question and your answer, man, the Tuskegee experiment
also had us all of that.
Skeptical of our doctors. Even when it come down to the COVID-19, man, like a lot of blacks didn't take it just because you fooled me once, you know what I'm saying, type of situation.
So you said it's Tuskegee experiment?
Yeah.
I heard of that, but refresh me a little bit.
So that was an experiment that the United States did on a group of black men down in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Syphilis, right?
Yeah, they were trying to see how they can, you know. They told the men that they got to cure that. It's just a test run. We want to see what it's going to do.
Right.
But it really, they didn't have no cure, and it ended up leading them down a path of bad health for the rest of their life. And they basically lied.
Right. And they didn't give it to us. A misconception too that they gave it to them. So they didn't give it to them, but they let them have it.
Right.
And didn't treat them. They told them they was treating it. Told them they had cures for it, and they didn't implement it. So they just wanted to see how their life would play out. But that led to them transmitting it to other people, to the other, in the community. And it was a point, I forgot the statistics, I don't want to misquote me on camera, but that whole region of Alabama had high syphilis cases, and they left them untreated. They diagnosed them and left them untreated and just observed the population. So that's a travesty within itself. So stuff like that, we don't trust medical professionals. When you hear that story right there in Tuskegee, Alabama, where you have a HBCU in that same city, and you have some prominent brothers come up out of that, and you still let that happen. Yeah. Tuskegee was great back then. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, Tuskegee became great after the airman experiment. Tuskegee was already great. They let that happen in a great community.
And I throw some message. I didn't know this. Quote me if I'm wrong, but they said that the woman who created the Planned Parenthood, she was one of the scientists that was part of the whole Tuskegee.
I think her name Margaret Sanger.
Margaret Sanger, yeah. She was in that whole mix, too.
Yeah, I heard she was a racist. I had to look at some of her policies and stuff, but from the people I trust, some of the scholars I've heard, that she wasn't.
Yeah,
she wasn't for us.
She wasn't up and up.
Yeah, she wasn't up and up.
So yeah, man. Man, so now you grown.
I'm grown now, man.
Yeah, you're finding yourself through your journey. Tell us about the 200-man stand, man. How'd you come along with that whole process?
Man, that process started. Then I come up here, and my life turned me back to barbering.
Okay.
I come to Nashville. I got a couple of jobs here and there, decent jobs too, by the way.
Okay.
But I wasn't fulfilled. So like, man, what am I good at? You know what I'm saying? Besides, being young, we've done a lot of bullshit here and there. So I'm good at doing some bullshit here and there, but I only got a certain set of skills, you know what I'm saying? Besides some day labor and type jobs. So I had to, what skill set do I have that I can build upon to create me a life that I want?
Okay.
Went to barber school. Oh man, damn! The whole time I'm cutting at the dead end jobs. With decent, I ain't gonna say dead. I could just say that decent jobs, but dead end for me. I was cutting my co-workers' hair. In college, I'm cutting my college partners' hair. Like I said, in high school, I'm cutting my high school people hair. Like, man, let me go to barber school. Went to barber school. Got out, graduated, passed my practical. Started working with a family friend, G. Gary Jackson in Antioch. Graduated of White Creek too, by the way.
Shout out to White Creek.
I think G class '92.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he was a stud too. He was a stud out there on that football field too, man. So working at G's barbershop, just seeing the way G facilitated love in the community. You know what I'm saying? G is already there 10, 12 years before I got there.
Okay.
So I get there and free haircuts here and there. I seen G buy furniture for people, you know what I mean? Just pour into his community. And he had an atmosphere that kind of did that too. People, the same kind of people, D. Smith, Gerald, all these people that come around, they had the same type of spirit. They give back. Mike Jones, everybody just kind of, I remember all the OGs they poured into me. They all had the same similar spirit as G. So I kind of, after G been there 10, 12 years, I'm there a year or two. G kind of just let me have that section of it. You know what I mean? A lot of the community stuff we doing. Hey, yo, I want to do some give back at the barbershop. Hey, yo, I want to do some food give. We want to cook for the clients this week. We was at Murfreesboro Road, so we were across the street from a trailer park. We was in the gas station, one of the more rundown type stations. We had like the standard of excellence in the barbershop, right down in the same plaza. So we had some of the undesirables and some desirables. They all come through and get served by us, That kind of led me, it's just a part of my spirit. I'm saying all that to say that's just a part of my spirit. And through my musical journey with Starlito, just on the promotional side, I met Hambino. So I meet Hambino through music, and I'm seeing his spirit, he feeling my spirit, and just us connecting in general, just phone, text, whatever, just tapping in. He hit me with the idea like, hey, bro, his nieces had just got killed. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. The queens. But it was on his spirit to do something about that, to combat violence, to teach his people they self-worth. So he was like, bro, I feel your spirit. You the only person I can do this with. Let's do this right here. Boom, 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 boom. So through the grace of God, Hambino came with the idea for us to serve through the ministry of the 200-man stand. You know what I'm saying? That's we're a vanguard of peace, love, and unity. So that's how we got there, man.
Okay, man. I'm so glad that you allowed me to, help out and be a figure in what y'all got going on in there, man, especially in the community cleanups, the giveaways, the backpack giveaways, the clothes drive, all that, man. Like it fills my spirit knowing I'm even helping out.
Oh man, I'm glad we worthy. You know what I'm saying? Because a brother like you, strong brother that do stuff on your own anyway. You got a financial literacy element to you. You know what I'm saying? You got a community rehabilitation element to you. So for you to feel the need and the want to come tap in with us, bro, we blessed. We blessed. So we ain't us without Sav. You know what I'm saying? Man, like everybody we've accumulated through our journey, everybody we've networked, we work with, we continue to evolve. So we not the 200-man stand without you, fam.
Man,
so
I appreciate
that's
it,
real.
bro.
You us.
It feels right. To be honest with you. So you brought up music, man. So how was that journey even getting to meeting Starlito back when you was in a camp, back when you was a youngster? And then you elevate and you got older and you revisit that relationship with him, and how did it segue you into the whole music career, man? Because you got your own label.
Man, I always, like I said, I'm a band dude. And I always was the guy that had to work real hard to be good. I was good now. Like I was really good in the band in high school. I was a top tier player in college, but I was the guy that had to practice. I never had the God given. You know what I mean? I know as athletes, it's y'all have guys that got to work for everything. You got guys who just got it. They can practice. You know what I mean? They can show up late and he just do what he do. Right. And there's a guy that got to get out there and put the 500 jumpers in the hour a day with the handles. He got to do it. If he don't do it, he ain't gonna be who he is. That was me.
I know, grew up named Calvin Roberts. That was him.
That was him.
He had to do nothing. His name was Odell Beckham.
Just wake up. Wake up and be great.
You probably do it right now.
Look, that's how, and the music is the same way, bro. Okay. You got people that just got it. Right. You got people that got to work to get it. I had to work to get it. So, the music still started at the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, we do community day. We got musicians in the band, musicians that we have recut. I'll be figuring out, hey man, can we get this drummer to play? Can we get this keyboard to play? Can we get y'all on Saturday? Can y'all cost us? Like all that started to my music, to booking them to play at the barbershop, to feel my thirst to go do concerts. So I did a couple concerts, R&B. Like we did my partner Melvin, we did Carl Thomas, doing party promotions and stuff like that. So I've just been in that world. But when it was time for me to level up, it was like, let me go with somebody reputable. Let me try to do some business with somebody reputable who brand align with my brand as a man. I never would feed the community foolishness too, so that's been me. That's why you ain't never seen me book no retarded ass little dude.
Right.
I don't want to bring that energy into the world. So we reached out to Lido to do some business, and I forgot, you know what I mean, that we went to camp together. And through us signing the contract and all of that, he read the name. Like, bro, we connected. Like, damn. So the business was already being handled before we realized that.
Right.
Damn, bro, we had tapped in, goddamn, as teenagers with each other.
Years ago.
You know.
And shout out to your artists too, man.
Oh, Triple Play, Squeak, Dre Panadrone, Ty Fooler, man. They all been on the journey doing it. And that led us to that too. So the concerts led us to like, you know what, let's put our own people on some shows. Let's further some people, champion some people that since we're doing all these concerts and moving around, let's push somebody up we can move around with on our end too. So Squeak was the first person, and Kenny quote, K-Day a hell of a coach now. He kind of retired, hung it up, but he was a bad boy too, though. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of started our musical management and label career with Triple Play, Squeak, and K-Day.
Okay.
And that led to some amazing things, man. We done some business with some great people, man, and some hell of a artists. Too many to name, but like I say, the late great Dolph, Lido and Trip, Big Boogie as of recently, Boosie, you know what I mean? And just partner with some hell of a business partners like Sky Ferrari and some other guys that just, you know, do good business, man, and make it easy for us to bring good entertainment to the city.
Okay, I got you. So, old man, I'm glad you came out, bro.
Yes, sir.
And you gotta be a recurring guest.
I tell you, I'm trying to be on your show like Boosie, man. Like Antoine got Charleston.
Man.
Like Vlad got Boosie.
Like Vlad got Boosie and TK and all.
And TK, I'm your Charleston. I'm your Yayo.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm here, baby. It's a pleasure too, Sad. You got a good platform, man. I like what you're doing too, man. You're very informative. You're educated, brother. So you do your homework on your people too, so people can come in and get their story out. You got a hell of a platform too. Shout out to you and your team, bro.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
man. I really appreciate it.
I can't wait to get back there.
It's gonna kill it. It's gonna be killer. Well, shoot. Tell the audience, man, how they can find you, man. What's your social media handle?
O_forward. O_4 WARD on Instagram. Otis Carter the 4th on Facebook. Forward Entertainment, Forward ENT, 4 WARD ENT on all platforms. And just look forward. We got some dope stuff. Check our website out, forward.live. Man, we got some cool shit, man. Check us out.
Also, look out for September 10th in Moss Point, Mississippi with Charleston White. Matter of fact, not Moss Point. What's the other city?
Oh, Pascagoula. It's on the Gulf Coast. It's for Moss. It's for the whole Gulf Coast. Moss Point, Pascagoula, Goshen, Escataba. We bringing something to the whole 228 community. Something that, you know, to say some real quality, high quality entertainment.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's go.
See, that's a bet, man.
Yes, sir. My guy.
Most definitely.
Appreciate it, brother.